Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you guys find these videos is when you're meant to hear the messages within them. But in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Taurus and Scorpio on Tuesdays. And I did want to let you guys know that the deck that I'm using today is called the Deviant Moon Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, my information is in the description below. I'm going to go ahead and take this card in the reverse. But I do want to give you guys the heads up that sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them, however, I usually only take the cards that jump out of the deck, like these ones have. And usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back. But my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. Let me just grab that card that fell. But my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So I'm just going to pull out 3 or 4 more cards, and we can get started. All right, Taurus. So I do want to remind you guys that in case you like the reading, or if it really resonates with you guys, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But I do want to tell you guys that your overall energy here is the 3 of Cups, which is actually a really nice energy because the 3 of Cups is energy about reunions, right? So the energy whenever I see the 3 of Cups is twofold. We have that reunion energy that I was talking about, and we also have an energy of celebration. So I'm thinking that in your lives, there's probably going to be plenty of reason to celebrate now. I think that things are starting to really look up, perhaps in a way that they haven't in the past. And that's really going to be cause for celebration, right? So this card, for me, I always see it as energy of, for example, going out and drinking with your friends or just all around having a good time. Perhaps someone's birthday is coming up. So certainly for a lot of you guys, I'm getting that there's going to be a moment where you guys kind of get to forget about all the, constraints and difficulties and struggles of life and kind of just have a good time, which I think is overdue for you guys because I feel like from the energy in the cards here, you've been having a rough time of it lately. But I do want to say that you have the 2 of Cups along with the Empress in reverse. Now, the 2 of Cups is actually a really good card to get, especially if you're looking for love, because the 2 of Cups is the soulmate card, right? So whenever I see the 2 of Cups, I know that you guys are dealing with a situation where you are, in this case, probably looking for someone who has that very high soulmate energy. Oftentimes they can be twin flames, and I'm seeing this Empress here, so for sure I'm getting that, there is sort of that heavy twin flame, divine counterpart union, because the twin flame in the the Empress in the tarot is half of the, my divine union in the tarot. So you have the Empress and the Emperor, and they don't settle for anyone less. And I think that because you have the Empress in reverse here, there is sort of that energy where you guys are either trying to embody the Empress and it's not quite entirely working, or you're mistaking someone else for your Empress, right? So the energy doesn't really need to be representative of gender, right? Like Empress, Emperor, just take the energies as they come to you, whichever one you identify most with. But either way, I'm getting for sure that with this 2 of Cups, you guys are on the search for a soulmate energy, right? So I'm worried that you guys might be, because this is an issue that's very common in the beginning stages of the twin flame journey, is mistaking like anyone for twin flames. And, you know, we really, in order to get the most out of the twin flame journey, you're supposed to kind of let go of it a little bit and work on yourself. So this to me is highlighting that in order for you guys to get this powerful, powerful love union that you want, which is probably someone that you know from the past, because I'm seeing this Three of Cups. What I'm saying is that you've met this person already. You need to sort of work on yourself a little bit. Work on anything you can think of, right? Because there's four suits. There's your mental faculties, there's your financial stability, there's sort of your passion and motivation in life, and there's also your romantic connections. So like in those four suits, there's plenty of things that you can work on. And you should really try to give yourself that self-love, right? And that's a really important one, because once you're able to do that, that's when like it's a game changer, and that's when the twin flame union really takes off. But you know, you need to work on yourself from the inside so that your outside world can reflect that. And I know that I've spent a lot of time on it, but like this message is, I can already tell that this is going to be a message is very important for at least one person out there. But either way, you have the Knight of Cups and you have the Three of Swords. So I'm sensing here that for some of you, you know, you are really trying to offer your cup of love, and it might be to the wrong people, right? And I think that you need to be a little bit more discriminatory, a little bit more, or that's not the right word, but like have discriminating tastes, right? So have a little bit of discretion when it comes to the people that you talk to, the people that you associate with, and in particular, the people that you love. Because I think that once you start to sort of do that and act everywhere from a place of love instead of a place of like fear of lack, that's when you're going to start to see really powerful connections. And that's when you're going to avoid this heartbreak, because a lot of times we end up getting into connections with people romantically, platonically, whatever, because we are afraid of being alone. And I feel like that's a huge theme here. So if you're able to really work on yourself in that particular thing in particular, then you're going to be able to see that improvement in your relationships. Now, this is very interesting to me. The fact that you have the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords, and the Six of Cups is, I keep saying Six of Cups. See, I feel like you guys are, because like the Six of Cups is the nostalgia card. It's the card of love from the past, or feeling like you're in love for the very first time again. And I'm thinking that you guys are maybe a little bit too preoccupied with your love life, and you're not really seeing like the financial side, the mental side, like all these other things that you might have to deal with. And as a result, you end up with this weird dynamic here, because to me, the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles are a huge dichotomy, right? You have this selfishness with your resources and charity with your resources. So when I see the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, I know that it feels like you're over giving. And I know that when you see the Four of Pentacles in reverse, it's that you're, instead of being selfish with your resources, you're over giving, right? So I think that for a lot of you guys, the object of your affection might be someone that you're trying to shower with gifts. And that might be a really nice way of getting someone to like you. But I think that you guys need to look at what's realistic to you, right? And this card I always associate with emotions. So I'm thinking that instead of, you know, focusing so much on money, because I don't think that in the end money is going to be a huge, huge factor beyond your physical stability. I think that you need to open up a little bit more emotionally. You need to be a little bit more vulnerable. And I'm hearing that that's very scary for a lot of you guys. But I see the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is leaving a bad situation and moving towards a better one. So I think that once you sort of, you know, I'm not saying that you're trying to buy anyone's love or whatever, but I think that once you really start to identify where the places that you're over giving are and where the places are that you're under giving, and you can start to balance that, because like I was saying, you have this dichotomy here, both in reverse. So I feel like once you start to do that balancing act, you're going to leave um, this Three of Swords situation over here where it's like painful, and then you're going to move into this Four of Pentacles over here where you're having open dialogues and open communication. And I feel like that's fantastic news, because then you have this Judgment in reverse. So I'm looking at this Judgment card and I'm almost feeling like it's a literal sense of you and them judging you, right? So you guys judging each other. And I feel like that can be very, very, very bad for a relationship. And because you have this Four of Pentacles here, it feels like, right, the Four of Pentacles is in reverse, so it feels like you have that open dialogue and it's free of this judgment. So it feels very natural and it feels very lovingly, and I feel like that's the difference. When you start to come from this place of love, you know, instead of like fear or lack that you might feel sometimes, you start to come into this really powerful connection. And I think that it's like, it's hard to articulate, but I feel like the foundation is here. It's just that you need to focus on yourself just as much as you focus on the other person, because because a lot of times we use sort of other people as a distraction, and the amount of self-love that you give yourself is going to reflect out into your outer world. And you want to have this balanced connection where you think about yourself and you think about them, and they think about themselves and they think about you. And then that way you have that balanced connection. But that was your reading first time around, Taurus. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Taurus videos on Tuesdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.